Hey everybody, it's Emily from Life So Savory, and today I'm going to show you how to put in a pocket with a zipper. Usually I use this like on the inside or the outside of a bag, and so I'm making a new bag pattern, and we're going to put a pocket that will have a zipper on the bag. So the first thing that you want to do is position your pocket where you want to be with the right sides of the fabric touching. So this is going to be the right side of the bag lining, and then this is the pocket. And when you're cutting the pocket size, you will be folding it in half, so you can picture it like that, and then the width, it needs to be wider than the zipper that you're using. So this is the zipper I'm using, and then you can see that the pocket is wider than the teeth of the zipper, and then the finished pocket will be when it's doubled over. So that's what you can judge and gauge for when you're cutting the pocket. So I've centered this in the center of the bag, centered in the center, and I've put it a couple inches down from the top. And then from there, I have drawn where I'm gonna sew. Okay, and so I'm gonna put a couple of pins to secure it while I go over and sew it. And when you're drawing this box, you want it to be about a 1/2 inch wide, this way, and then you want the length to be from zipper teeth, end of zipper teeth to end of zipper teeth, okay? If your zipper is too long and you're gonna shorten it, then you just make sure that it's in from both sides of the fabric, because you're still gonna need to stitch along there. So you can't go all the way to the edge, okay? So there's my box drawn. I'm gonna go stitch with a tight stitch, not a loose stitch, a tight stitch along those lines, and then we'll come back and show you. So again, we've got right sides of the fabric together, and you can see where this is positioned on the bag. Okay, now we're back, and we have sewn along that box where I drew the line. And then now we're gonna cut it open so we can flip it to the wrong side of the lining, which is where we actually want the pocket to be, and then we'll install the zipper. So I usually like to cut down the center of where I just sewed, and then on the corners I make a V and cut with some sharp small scissors as close to the corners as you can without clipping the threads, of course. And then we'll do the same on the other. So go to about within a 1/4 inch of the end, and then clip down tight into where you, the corners where you sewed. If you do happen to clip your threads in the corner, then you're gonna wanna take it back to the sewing machine and just quick reinforce the corners if you cut the threads. All right, so now we're gonna flip this back through our hole to the back of the bag opening. And then we're going to take this and press it so that everything is lined up nicely. Okay? Okay, so now from the front side of the bag, we have a clean line opening. And on the back side of the lining, we have pressed the fabric to all the sides, trying to keep the puckers, which are inevitable, around the corners to a minimum. The next thing is to install the zipper, which will then also top stitch around the opening of this zipper hole. So you're going to place your zipper in the opening, making sure first of all you have it lined up the way you want. And then we're going to pin around the zipper. And then with a zipper foot on your sewing machine, you're going to sew along the top and bottom of the zipper, which will top stitch that opening and secure the zipper. Now before we sew, we're gonna flip this over and just double check that the zipper is centered and where we want it to be. Okay, so you can see here, actually that's a little far down, so I need to raise that, that side. Okay, so now the entire zipper is exposed, and when we pull it, we'll be able to zip and unzip along those edges. So I'm gonna stitch, what I really wanna do actually, usually I do this, after I tack it in place with a couple pins, is I repin it on the top side, because what I really wanna do is I wanna stitch from the top so that my stitches are nice and even, and because we're not only securing the zipper, but we're also top stitching this opening. Okay, so I'm just gonna switch my pins to the right side of the fabric. So I guess our bottom ones were basting pins. Okay, so now we'll be able to sew from the right side and not run into our pins. You will want to put a zipper foot on it, and I'm not going to want to top stitch right here because there's zipper under there. So I'll break a needle and I'll crash into things. So I'm just going to sew top and bottom with my zipper foot. Okay, so now on the front we have a zipper opening that works. We still don't have a pocket behind it, but the zipper part is established and sewn in. So on the back we now have this long pocket piece and we have a zipper that is sewn in. So the final step is to fold the pocket up and then stitch around the three sides. And it's going to be close around these ends of the zipper, so you'll have to fold your bag all the way to the back when you sew around. And then I like to, after I've stitched it on the sewing machine, I like to either zigzag or serge around. And you're gonna need to move this back and forth to kind of move it out of the way so you can stitch around there. So that's the final step, is to sew around those three sides. Okay, so we'll stitch that and then we'll have a pocket. Okay, so here is your finished inside pocket. I have a little, this was a little close here, so I have a little more finishing work to do there. But essentially that's the inside, and this will be hidden because this is on the back side of the lining of the bag. So even if it doesn't look so pretty, you will never see it. The front is what you want to look pretty, and of course I have threads to clip, but there is your zipper, open, close, and the pocket inside with the nice part of the fabric showing. Perfect for keys and other small things that get lost in the bottom of your bag. There's a thread there getting in the way. Clip your threads. Close your zipper. Okay, so there's your finished zipper, front and back pocket. I hope this was helpful and that you'll sew this bag pattern.